Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a little tutorial today on these things. Reserve fuses on fireworks. What are they all about? What are they for? So let's get into that. First of all, when you buy a small firework like this, typically it has a single fuse, usually with an orange fuse cover like this. And you peel that back and there's a single fuse and you light that and off you go. Now, that's for small fireworks. If you're buying bigger fireworks, barrages and compounds like this, these are a lot more expensive, and the last thing you want is to light a fuse and only half the firework or a third of the firework fires, and then you've wasted the rest. So that's what reserve fuses are for. So why do we need them? Why might a firework only fire half of it? Well, to understand that, we need to look at how cakes like this are made. So I've got one here. It's inert, so it's safe, just to show you how the inside of a firework works. I've taken the wrapper off this so you can see the individual tubes or shots, and these are all taped together. Now down the bottom here, this is where each tube is fused. Now each tube is fused with a little piece of fuse like that, and when it's made in the factory, these fuses basically link each tube together like that. So once that one fires, that fuse will then ignite the next tube, and then one will come out of there into the next, and so on until it will zigzag across the cake and fire all the tubes. Now these aren't actually tied in. These are literally just, these could fall out. Now, generally speaking, they don't, because this cake will be wrapped and it will be secure. But if you've put this cake on soft ground, muddy ground, the recoil from these tubes could actually mean that one of these tubes detaches and moves down from the recoil. When the shot fires up, this goes down into the ground. And of course, if you can imagine, that will then potentially pull the fuse out. So if I move this little piece of fuse along to this one, for example, let's put it in this tube here, like that. If this tube was to pull down into the ground, it could cause that fuse to detach. So once the firework gets to that point, it then can't go any further because the fuse isn't attached. So that's why fireworks can fail halfway through. You can reduce that by ensuring that your fireworks are on really nice, firm, solid ground. If you're doing something on grass or something like that, put some wood underneath so that these tubes have nowhere to go from the recoil. So that's why reserve fuses were put on larger cakes. So you have your main fuse. Sometimes it's called the primary fuse or the first fuse or a number one, and a reserve fuse or a number two fuse. Does it matter which one you light when it comes to lighting your firework? Well, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the type of firework. If it's a single effect firework, you can usually light either. Single effect means it only does one thing, and it will do it however many times the number of tubes you've got. So if you've got 25 tubes, it will do 25 shots, one after the other at the same speed. Whereas multi-effect cakes can do different things or do different things at different speeds. So you might find, for example, that a cake starts firing shot one after the other every second or so, and then the final section of the cake is all like twice as fast. So if you light the reserve fuse at the end, you're going to get the twice as fast section first, and then the cake's going to slow down. So you do have to pay attention as to which one you use. I have seen the odd occasion where the fuse brothers have both said reserve fuse or both said main fuse, which can get a little bit more complicated. At the end of the day, does it matter which one you light? No, you can use either one. They will both ignite the firework. But really, ideally, if you get one that says two reserve fuses or two main fuses, take it back to where you got it from. I'm sure they'll swap it out for you, no problem. But I say it is completely safe to light either of them. Now, if you do light the main fuse and your firework only half fires, when do you light the reserve fuse? Well, of course, once you've lit a firework, you should never return to it. That's in the firework code here in the UK. Never return to it. But obviously, there has to come a point where you do have to return to it. But give it sufficient time. I would say at least 15 minutes to ensure that it is not smouldering. It's fully gone out before you return to it. And then you can take the cover off the reserve fuse and light that, and you'll use the rest of the firework. Now, a few other tips and tricks that you can do with these. You can actually use the reserve fuse and the main fuse, light both at the same time. This is easy. If you've got an electronic firing system, you can just connect your igniters to both fuses at once. Why would you want to do that? Well, actually, you could do that to half the duration of the cake. If you have a cake that lasts, say, 2 minutes, light both fuses at once. it will only last a minute and you'll get all the effects in half the time. So you can use that to kind of make cakes more impressive, but obviously you're halving the duration, but increasing the pace of it. And the other thing that you can do with these is use the reserve fuse to link to the main fuse on the next fireworks. You can link fireworks together this way. And actually, that's what compound fireworks are. If you've heard the term compound fireworks are just firework barrages like this, a number of them all fused together. So you only need to light one fuse and all the fireworks go together. So a barrage is just joined together to make a compound. So that's basically what a reserve fuse could be used for, to link one firework to the next. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't. I'm not advising you go and modify and connect one firework to another. It's not meant to be. Fireworks that are meant to be connected together will come connected together, or will come with instructions of how to connect them. But that's basically what reserve fuses are for. I know some people do ask, what's the purpose of reserve fuses? So it's to ensure that the cake fully ignites, you're not wasting any of the cake. But you can use it in different ways. You can double the speed of the cake to make it more intense and last quicker, and other cool things like that. So I hope that's been useful. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for some more firework content like this.